We took our 6-year-old to Disney for a yes day, and he definitely made different choices than I would have made. We got to Disney around 10:30 in the morning, and the first thing he wanted was popcorn, so we started with that. Then he asked to go on the Little Mermaid ride, partially because he likes it, but partially because he doesn't love waiting in long lines, and he knows that line's usually pretty short. His next choice was pretty interesting. He didn't specifically ask for Lamplight Lounge, but he did ask for breakfast, even though it was lunchtime. That was okay by me because we were able to get a walk up for brunch at Lamplight Lounge, and that's one of my favorite places to go anyway. Then, since we were in the area, he did ask to go on Midway Mania, and luckily the line for that wasn't too long. In the exit store for Midway Mania, he did find a little toy he wanted, and he wanted some chocolate coins. At this point, he was ready to leave California Adventure and head over to Disneyland, where he wanted to hang out inside the Main Street Cinema for a while. I don't know if it's just because it's something different we don't normally do, but he liked watching the TVs and didn't want to go outside until it was time for the rainy day cavalcade to start. We watched the cavalcade, and then he had a really interesting request, which we got lucky and were able to pull off. He wanted to go to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and do their night package, and we were super lucky. I think because it was a rainy day, they actually had a walk-in available. He's seen his sister do Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique before and recently found out that one of our friends was able to dress up like a knight while doing Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, so it's actually something that he's been asking to do. I will do a whole separate video on just this experience, but he loved it. We had the best fairy godmother who really went above and beyond to make sure his experience was special. Once he was done, we headed out into Fantasyland, where he tried to pull the sword in the stone, unfortunately not successfully, but after that he did ask to ride the carousel and then Casey Jr. And while he really loved the experience of Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, his excitement over the actual outfit only lasted a little while, and it wasn't very long before he was asking if we could go check into the hotel so that he could change. Luckily, we were staying just across the street at our favorite hotel, Grand Legacy at the park, so it was really easy to go check into the hotel, get him changed, and let him relax for a little bit. He watched his iPad for a while and then asked if he could also have breakfast for dinner. That was going to be harder to pull off inside of Disneyland, but luckily there is a Denny's right next to the hotel, and that's where he wanted to go on our way back to the park. After dinner, he wanted to go back to Disneyland and wait in line to go on Rise of the Resistance. Luckily, because it was pretty cold and rainy that day, we actually didn't have to wait that long to go on the ride, and he was excited to see that the blasters were moving again. After Rise of the Resistance, he made my least favorite choice of the day, which was that he wanted to go on Tiana's Bayou Adventure. This ride already is not my favorite ride, but I definitely did not want to go on it when it was cold and raining. He loved Tiana's though, and once we were off of that, he did ask to go on Haunted Mansion, which I think he might have only asked to go on because he knows it's my favorite ride, and he's really a very sweet child. After Haunted Mansion, he surprised me again by saying he was done for the day. He did ask if he could have these cute Pixar rings on our way out, which we bought for him, and then we went back to Grand Legacy, and he was in bed by 8:45.